NX Nastran is the premier FEA solver for computational performance, accuracy, reliability, and scalability. And now you can leverage the power of NX Nastran's parallel processing capabilities even without having to invest directly in high-performance computing hardware. In fact, you don't even need to own an NX Nastran license. Let's learn more. Before getting into details, let's discuss some of the trends in the simulation world that are driving simulation investment decisions. Simulation analysts are under constant pressure to deliver results faster because development companies are looking to leverage the results from simulation to drive critical design decisions that could help them to deliver the most innovative product to market faster than their competition. However, product complexity and the drive for greater levels of fidelity mean that model sizes are increasing. Model sizes of tens of million or even hundreds of million degrees of freedom are becoming more common. However, larger model sizes mean longer solve times, which hinders analysts' ability to deliver results more quickly. This is then driving the need to leverage parallel processing combined with high-performance computing horsepower. By leveraging a solver's parallel processing capabilities across an HPC cluster, analysts can speed solution time for very large models. But HPC hardware and the maintenance of that hardware comes at a steep cost, and most development companies lack the resources to invest in HPC hardware. Let's look at resource planning in more detail. When making capital expenditure investment decisions, most simulation groups tend to think in terms of this graph, where they expect their CPU usage will incrementally increase over time. Or they may be looking at the maximum amount of CPUs they think they'll need in the near future. However, in real life, CPU usage looks more like this. CPU use is not a constant. There may be a long-term average amount of CPU use that increases over time, but there are wild swings that go well above and well below the long-term average. Why does this happen? You may be in a critical development point of a new product design that triggers a larger than usual demand of the simulation team. Or if you're an engineering service provider, you might all of a sudden get an avalanche of new engagements that overwhelm your existing simulation capacities. How can you quickly increase your simulation capacity on short notice? What if you don't have enough solver licenses available to meet the demand of your customers? NX Nastran on the cloud can help. An industry standard for over 40 years, Nastran is a finite element solver for stress, vibration, structural failure, heat transfer, acoustics, and aeroelasticity analyses. Manufacturers as well as engineering suppliers in aerospace, automotive, electronics, heavy machinery, medical device, and other industries rely on NX Nastran for their critical engineering computing needs so they can produce safe, reliable, and optimized designs with increasingly shorter design cycles. Performance is what makes NX Nastran the solution of choice for users who need to solve today's increasingly large problems. Siemens PLM software has heavily invested in performance capabilities for NX Nastran, particularly for large-scale dynamics problems that can be divided into several pieces and sent to multiple processors. For example, consider this recursive domain partitioning example of a modal solution of a simulated air wing model with over 50 million degrees of freedom. NX Nastran solved for 1500 modes below 200 Hz. With just 4 CPUs, the solution required almost 400 minutes, which is more than 6.5 hours. But spreading the solution over 512 CPUs reduced the solution time to just 38.5 minutes, almost 10 times faster. As I mentioned before, investing in a cluster with 512 CPUs isn't cheap. Not only do you need to invest in the hardware, but you also need to invest in the IT staff, middleware, storage devices, and networking to make all of this run smoothly. And as we saw in the CPU usage graph, much of these CPUs won't be fully utilized the entire time, which means much of the investment will just be sitting there in the back room burning up money. Investing in HPC hardware just isn't practical for most companies. So how can you take advantage of NX Nastran's powerful parallel processing capabilities to solve large models? Siemens PLM software has partnered with Rescale to make NX Nastran available in a cloud environment so users around the globe now have easier access to this simulation solution. Rescale was founded in 2011 and has grown rapidly to become a leading cloud simulation provider, offering an integrated solution that combines simulation software with customizable hardware infrastructure. Through Rescale, NX Nastran customers can get on-demand hardware scalability for NX Nastran solutions. You can quickly scale up compute capacity to fulfill short-term needs, such as an investigation into an urgent warranty issue. What's also interesting is that Rescale offers you the ability to rent NX Nastran licenses in addition to renting hardware capacity. So in the event that the number of NX Nastran licenses that you have are insufficient to support a short-term project, you can also use Rescale to increase both hardware and NX Nastran license capacity. NX Nastran, through the Rescale platform, can help you deliver simulation results faster and ultimately get your products to market more quickly. Rescale gives you the computing horsepower you need when you want it to power your largest NX Nastran problems faster. With faster solution times, you're then also able to make design decisions earlier than before, which can then allow you to iterate and explore more concepts than you could have achieved before. Exploring more options is the key to innovation, which can give you a competitive advantage. And Rescale's easy-to-use platform means you don't need to worry about deployment. All you need is a web browser to upload and submit your NX Nastran models to Rescale. From an infrastructure perspective, you're able to reduce your capital costs since you don't need to invest directly in HPC hardware. This means you can treat the HPC infrastructure you use through Rescale as an operational expense, which can offer a business some accounting benefits. Rescale's cloud infrastructure has already been configured and optimized to take full advantage of NX Nastran performance. So you also don't need to invest in an IT infrastructure to support using NX Nastran on the HPC cluster. And maintaining data security is an important consideration for every company that is contemplating investing in a cloud-based solution. And you can rest easy knowing that all data run through the Rescale platform is secure. Rescale has built proprietary best-in-class security features into its platform, where customer data is encrypted end-to-end and jobs are run on private, closed clusters. Information technology administrators can manage access and security controls at every level of the organization. In addition, Rescale is compliant end-to-end with International Traffic in Arms Regulation, otherwise known as ITAR, and Service Organization Controls (SOC2) requirements. Now let's look at Rescale's NX Nastran deployment options in more detail. If you already have an NX Nastran license, and if you're simply looking to increase computing capacity, then the first option is best for you. This is called the Bring Your Own License, or BYOL, configuration. What this means is that you can use your existing NX Nastran license in conjunction with the NX Nastran software that has been deployed on the Rescale platform. Rescale will access your on-premise license server via a tunnel. You might opt for the BYOL model when you wish to own the NX Nastran licenses, but not the hardware that you use to run the simulation. You could also use this model to use your NX Nastran licenses to augment in-house hardware with high-powered machines that are used only as needed. The other model is called the Software as a Service, or SaaS configuration, and this allows you to purchase NX Nastran usage via subscription or on a per-run, per-hour usage. Both the license and the software are provided by Rescale, along with a choice of hardware configurations to run your simulation. The SaaS model may be preferred if you wish to minimize upfront costs associated with purchasing software and hardware. The SaaS configuration is helpful when you have varying demand which might be using up your existing NX Nastran licenses, and you need short-term access to additional licenses to cover work spikes. SaaS also lets you treat your NX Nastran investment as an operational expense, which may offer you some additional business benefits. Both of the options for BYOL and SaaS models refer to software usage. Hardware usage is charged on a price per core per hour basis. By comparing these deployment options against investing in an on-premise HPC cluster, you can easily see why using NX Nastran on the cloud can make much more sense for many companies. With a traditional on-premise HPC environment, you have to invest in and manage the NX Nastran software, hardware, infrastructure, middleware, storage, and the IT staff to support all of it. In the BYOL configuration on Rescale, you are still invested in the NX Nastran software licenses, but you're letting Rescale manage the computing platform, which consists of the actual NX Nastran software deployment, hardware, middleware, and IT. In the SaaS configuration, you're even letting Rescale manage the NX Nastran licensing, meaning you're either subscribing to an NX Nastran license or renting an NX Nastran license on a per-use case. So how do you choose which option is best for you? If you already have NX Nastran licenses available, and if you're only looking for more computing resources, then the BYOL option is probably best for you. BYOL gives you lower long-term software costs while still getting on-demand access to HPC. If you don't currently have NX Nastran, and you only expect to use NX Nastran intermittently, then SaaS is probably the right option for you. This option lowers your upfront software investment costs and allows you to pay for NX Nastran usage as you go, in addition to hardware usage. Or, if you already have NX Nastran, but need to increase your NX Nastran licenses to cover a short-term project, then the SaaS option will also be a good choice for you to cover the gap. Customers are realizing value by using NX Nastran through Rescale today, as evidenced by this quote from Tentech Engineering Services. Tentech provides mechanical design, analysis, and test services for the aerospace and defense, high-tech electronics, and renewable energy industries. Tentech is an existing NX Nastran customer, but they did not want to invest in high-cost HPC infrastructure to solve their ever-increasingly large models. Tentech has been successful using their NX Nastran licenses through Rescale to gain low-cost access to the HPC power they need. Additionally, most of Tentech's work is ITAR regulated, so security is of utmost concern to them. Rescale offers ITAR-specific services to handle these sensitive files, and Tentech has been very satisfied with how this work has been managed. To summarize, NX Nastran is available on the cloud today through our partner Rescale, so you can get fast, flexible access to thousands of CPUs to take advantage of NX Nastran's parallel processing speed to solve large models faster. Rescale lets you increase your simulation capacity at a moment's notice whenever you have a surge in demand and simulation usage. This means you don't have to directly invest in the costly HPC hardware and maintenance. Try NX Nastran on the cloud for free. Simply go to the URL listed here to sign up for a free trial of NX Nastran on Rescale. We've provided several example NX Nastran input files that you can use during your trial, or you can use your own. In addition to NX Nastran, Rescale has recently added 2 additional solvers from Siemens PLM software, NX Thermal for thermal analysis solutions, and NX Flow for computational fluid dynamics. All of the same basic principles that were discussed in this presentation also apply to the use of these 2 solvers on Rescale. Feel free to use any of these solvers during your trial. The next time you need more computing power for your NX Nastran simulation, look to the cloud. We hope to see you there.